This is Central Texas Living with Ann Harder.
More than 46,000 Central Texans don't know where their next meal will come from. 30% in Waco live in poverty, and that's where Caritas Waco comes in. It was established back in 1967 by Catholic Charities of the Austin Diocese, and this ministry's it's had some great individuals leading it in the past, like Dr. Eugene Judd, Dr. Kenneth Murby, and Buddy Edwards. But with Buddy's recent retirement, now Alicia Jallah and Ann Owen are serving as co-executive directors, and I'm so happy to welcome Alicia to the podcast this morning. And a very recent addition to the staff is Mary Beth Kauk, the Director of Development, and we had a chance to visit not too long ago on a Facebook Live.
Yes, just yesterday.
It was a fundraiser for the KXXV for 25 News, and the catchphrase was, hunger doesn't take a vacation in the summer. There's no let up, and this time of year it's even worse because of the COVID.
It is, yeah.
Well, Alicia, tell me, what has been your involvement with Caritas? Have you been with them a while?
Sure. I've been there about 2 years now. So when I came on board, I was the assistant executive director overseeing operations. So I got all the fun facilities and human resources, and then I oversaw several of our departments. And then just a couple of weeks ago was promoted to be a co-executive director with Ann Owen.
Well, now hopefully Buddy Edwards won't get the big head, because it took two women to to replace him. But I'm sure there was a lot of strategy behind that with your strengths, and Ann Owen has been involved with Caritas, I know, for many years.
She has. I believe she's been there about 7 years, at least 5 or 6 when I came on. There was, she and I have strengths that complement each other really well as weaknesses that complement each other really well. And so the board just made, I think, a great decision in having us both come on and co-lead together. And I'm excited to be able to do it. And there are definitely big shoes to fill with Buddy Edwards. I mean, he left a legacy of compassion and service to this community. And so I hope that we're able to just follow his lead and continue it on and just best serve our community that we can.
Mary Beth, you're a much more recent addition to the staff, but of course been in Central Texas, United Way. I mean, you've had a lot of roles. What brought you to Caritas?
Being in the United Way network, I was really able to see the different nonprofits in our community, and I was just always incredibly impressed personally with Caritas. And so when I saw this position come open, I said, God, is this where you're calling me to be? Is this the door that's going to open? And I prayed about it, and I went for it, and here I am today. And I'm just so excited to be here. I think it's my 8th day. So I'm still getting my feet wet.
Early in your tenure. But as Director of Development, I know that always you're raising money. I mean, always. And I know the one-day fundraiser that 25 News did was a great thing for you guys as well. But you had to, I'm sure, cancel things. There was a big thing in April, I think, that was planned. And
we have Feast of Caring.
Yeah.
And so right now we're tentatively looking at October for that. It could move again. We're also playing around with like a virtual event idea, so that's something that could happen as well. We also have the golf tournament, and so working very hard behind the scenes right now to see how can we keep these events going and keep a momentum behind them and just bring in that monetary donation that we need.
Yeah, now the golf tournament, that's in the fall? Is that one?
It is.
That's
normally it's in the fall.
Yeah.
So we're already pushing it to the spring. We've went ahead and canceled it for this year, and then hopefully we'll be able to hold it in the spring.
Yeah. Well, of course, the work you do is so important to folks, and there's so much more need. Do you have like some numbers you can share with folks, like how many people you've served? And
Yeah, absolutely. What we've seen is definitely an increase. April was our highest at the start of everything and the shelter in place. We would saw about 3,000 households for the month of April. We've gone down just a little bit, but we're still seeing, 2,900 for June. And so it's just about 100 less. And that's, with people some people being able to go back to work. And so we're not seeing as many, but
so that's still good news. There's a little glimmer of good news.
A little. We have seen in the last week or two an increase again, though, and so we're going back up, and it may be just because of the spikes in cases, and definitely people getting fearful again of it, maybe potentially another shutdown or whatever it may be. So we're seeing an increase again, but for June we saw about 7,700 individuals come through.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, and we've seen about 220 new families come through our drive-through for receiving assistance just in the past 3 months.
Food, of course, is what folks, really associate Caritas with, but there are other services available as well, right, Mary Beth?
Correct. We also have case management. There's also a focus on veteran case management as well. So we have Tammy that oversees that program. Caritas also offers prescription assistance, assistance with utilities, mortgage, rental assistance. So it really is a holistic approach with helping the individual out of crisis.
Right, and hopefully to get them back on their feet. It's a help for kind of as you say, a crisis time and in their families functioning. What has surprised you in this new role? I guess you've been there a couple of years, Alicia, but what is the one thing that kind of surprises you about the work you do that maybe you think most people don't understand?
Yeah, I think especially right now, just how hard physically it is on our staff has just been really surprising, and trying to even protect them. Our staff, our team is just absolutely incredible. They're loading hundreds of pounds of foods into these carts and then again loading them into everybody's cars or the truck beds. And it's a lot of effort. And they're also doing that and the weather's 96, 97 plus degrees.
And they're wearing face masks.
And they're having to wear face masks right now and keep social distancing. I mean, it's a lot. It's physically draining on the staff, and yet they don't complain. They do it normally with a smile. I mean, it's incredible to have seen them and what they're going through, even in their personal lives, and still coming to work and doing their best to serve our community. That's been the biggest surprise, and just it's caught even Ann and I with tears in our eyes sometimes to just see how our team has come together to serve our community and just kind of fought through some really tough elements at times.
So how many people do you have working there at Caritas?
So downtown we have about 27 staff members that kind of work through the downtown, and then we also have an additional 10 to 15 staff members that work at our thrift stores.
Do you use volunteer help?
Yes, we're always looking for volunteers. We need volunteers to help in the warehouse with unloading the groceries, the canned goods. We also need volunteers to help with loading the cars, and we are always looking for volunteers to help with that. And so you can go to caritas-waco.org and click on the volunteer tab at the top and fill out the volunteer application page.
And I'm sure that's a good place to go to donate.
Yes.
You're always in need of donations. What does it cost to run Caritas? I mean, do you have some dollar figures for that?
Yeah, it costs a lot. Just our food bill alone every month can range into the thousands of dollars. I mean, you're looking at about $10,000 a month, and that's on top of all of the free food that we get donated through individuals and churches, and as well as other businesses. And so just food cost alone is a lot. Thankfully, we have been just absolutely surrounded by our community and supported to be able to provide some funds also, like the COVID relief funds through United Way and the Cooper Foundation, to be able to help provide for those who have been specifically impacted by COVID. And those grant funds have already been spent, and we're, hoping for maybe more so that we can keep, roofs over heads and water turned on for our families.
Do some restaurants help you out with food and stuff?
A couple have, like Uncle Dan's was great. They did some, and they even actually helped provide some lunch for our staff one day. They were great to us. And normally restaurants do a lot more. I know right now they're kind of struggling right along with us.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So what, you said, Mary Beth, you had a familiarity with Caritas. What has surprised you about the ministry since you've kind of been involved with it, just for a few days?
I have been blown away by the teamwork that goes behind the scenes with Caritas, to see everybody hops on board. It doesn't matter what department you're working in. It doesn't matter what office you're in. Everybody is all hands on deck to make this happen for the families. And everybody is so kind, and everyone is there because they have a passion for this ministry. That's why they are there. It brings a lot of joy to my heart, and it brings a lot of joy to my work day to be able to experience that every day when I go to work.
Exactly where are you located?
Yeah, we're at 300 South 15th Street, so 15th and Mary.
Okay, and that's where anyone would go to donate any items or?
Yeah, if they want to donate, if like food items in particular, it would be by the loading docks on our 15th Street side. There's a phone number that you can call if none of our warehouse guys are out there, and they'll come out and pick it up. Monetary donations, we're asking for people to go online or mail them in just to try to limit some contact. However, if you would like to stop by, you're more than welcome to, and it'll be more on the Mary Street side that you'd be able to come to make that donation.
Now, if folks want to donate, is there is something that you need more than others? I mean, is it like baby items maybe, or I know canned goods, you always think about donating like tuna fish and things like that.
Definitely the canned goods and dry goods is always needed, especially things like cans that have like the pop tops for our homeless population. Those are really good. The canned protein is a great donation just because those tend to be more expensive for us to purchase. And so if people can donate that definitely eases some of the burden on us financially.
Things like Ensure, things like that.
Those too, those are great, especially something that families can make full meals out of. Those are good.
Very good. Anything else that you'd like to add about the work of Caritas? And
Well, I just want to say thank you to our community. I mean, there's no way that we could do it without this community and stepping up and, supporting us, whether that's financially or with their time or just even prayers and good thoughts sending our way. I mean, there's just no way we could do it without them. So thank you to everyone who supports us through this time. We feel it, and we thank you for it.
Well, it was a ministry founded many, many years ago, and it's helped countless people. And the work of Caritas really can't be overstated, that's for sure. I like to end these little visits with some questions. It was a little questionnaire that was brought to my attention by James Lipton. He would use that on his show Inside the Actors Studio. So you can take turns or piggyback or however you want to do it, but we're going to start off. Let's start off with Alicia. What's your favorite word?
Perseverance is one of my favorite words.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I just think, if you don't have a persevering character or attitude, you're just not going to make it. And so perseverance, I always just tell everyone, let's persevere through this. Let's get through it.
Yeah.
My turn?
Sure. Yeah, Mary Beth, what's your favorite word?
I would say joy. I think that there are so many things that encompass joy. People, your religion, love, all sorts of things encompass the word joy. And so to bring joy to others and to bring joy to the community is something that's very special. And so the word joy is very important to me.
Okay, conversely, what's your least favorite word, Alicia?
Maybe more of a phrase of I can't. It drives
That's
me
what I was
crazy
gonna say.
when people say I can't. There is always a way through. Just always. Don't ever say I can't, because we can always find a way.
Well, you kind of answered this one already, Mary Beth, with what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally.
I would say creatively is prayer, and that's just in my personal life. I would say in my professional life, it's creatively being in a work environment that's incredibly supportive, that has a mission within the community. That is what launches my creativity, because I'm an extrovert, and I love people, and I really burn off the energy of people. And so when I'm surrounded by a lot of creativity, it just continues to flow.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm definitely an extrovert and a people person, and so I feed off of other people, and so I love engaging with people and talking with people and working alongside my, especially my team at work. That fuels me every day.
What sound do you love the most? Mary Beth, go to you.
Oh, that's a very interesting question. What sound do I like the most? I would say music, which I know is a category.
Oh.
But I love music. I love all types of music, different genres of music. And so I know that's a pretty generic answer, but I would say music.
Yeah, okay.
I have a 6-month-old baby at home, and his giggle is probably the best sound in the world.
Yes.
I just love it, especially when his daddy is doing something and he's giggling with his
cackle.
daddy. I like do it all the time. I could listen to it just 24/7. It is just the best sound I have ever heard. It melts my heart and, brings a joy to me every single moment.
Oh, yes. Well, what sound do you not love?
Oh. What sound do I not love? Snoring.
That's a good one.
Especially when I'm trying to sleep.
Spoken as one who deals with that.
I do not like hearing that noise. I'm trying to sleep.
Oh, man. At work, I hate the sound of the pallets dropping really
loud.
That's
a good one.
They surprise you?
They're heavy. Yeah, and it's
they're so loud.
I'm always thinking that something's falling or something's about to collapse on someone or just something. I'm sitting there thinking like, oh gosh, somebody just got hurt or something. That big clang of the pallets on the warehouse floor. I hate that sound.
Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. What other profession would you want to try?
Oh, goodness. I've always worked in nonprofit. Mm-hmm. Before this, I thought I was going to be a missionary overseas. I wanted to run an orphanage in Nepal and just do that. And so that's the only other thing I've ever considered doing was running an orphanage somewhere overseas.
Very noble calling there.
Mine is very random, but it's always been the best. And one of these days, it's on my bucket list. I want to do it.
Okay.
I want to run a Christmas store. I love the holidays, so and I think it'd be so much fun. And then have like proceeds to benefit like a charity or some kind of program within the community.
Oh, okay. So what job do you would not want to do?
I could never be a doctor or a nurse. I could never do that. I am not good at blood and telling people bad news, and I could never do that.
It would be tough.
I couldn't do it.
I would say a custodial worker, and I have so much respect for custodial workers because it's an incredibly hard job, and that is not one of the gifts that God gave me.
Okay, because at home we all get to do enough of that as it is. All right, finally, what do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates? Alicia?
Oh, just good job, faithful servant. I mean, I hope that he calls me to rest at that point. Just good job and take a rest. Good job.
That's exactly what came to my mind was good job, good and faithful servant.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Thank you both. You're doing very well. And new callings, really, for both of you where you are. But Caritas is such an important ministry in Central Texas. It's affecting so many lives, and we can all be a part of this.
Exactly.
And
Absolutely.
help. And again, so where do we go to donate?
Caritas-waco.org. And you can donate through the website. Our address is on there, so you can also send a check or monetary donation through the mail. Our phone number's listed on there. Give us a call. We'll get you connected.
Oh, Mary Beth, thank you so much. You and Alicia, both, all the best to you in your work there at Caritas.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Central Texas Living is part of the Rogue Media Network family. Be sure to check out their other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please rate us 5 stars on iTunes and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Join us again soon for more Central Texas Living, the podcast.
This has been Rogue Media Network Podcast.